Jamie and Jenna were crazy in love and horribly in debt. As they were planning their future together, the couple took a cold, hard look at their finances.
Total combined student loans, and we both had a little bit of credit card debt, and I think a car loan out too. I was right around $100,000.
The two were both working as part-time teaching assistants. Neither jobs paid more than $20,000 a year.
And I remember, again, both of us almost laughing at the mountain of debt that we knew that we were under.
Unsure of what to do next, Jenna prayed about the debt and the future marriage. She says that's when God made her an unbelievable promise, one that she immediately shared with her fiancé.
Jesus is now saying, us as a couple are going to be debt-free in 5 years.
It was one of those, you've got to be kidding. There's no way that that's possible.
The couple mapped out a plan to pay off their debt. They created a budget based on their limited income. They also decided their first expense would be tithing.
I knew that it was something that would honor God and something He calls us to do.
When I heard the idea of tithing would be 10% of your income, I did a quick math calculation and I'm that's a lot of money every month.
A few months before their wedding, both Jamie and Jenna were offered full-time teaching positions. But with just a few weeks to go before the big day, bad news. Their school hadn't been taking out the state-mandated retirement deduction. To make up for the shortfall, both Jamie and Jenna had their paychecks slashed.
They were literally taking half of each of our salary every paycheck for the next 6 pay periods.
It felt like it got punched. We had been working so hard.
Now the two would have to make do with even less than they had planned. The couple went on with the wedding and, despite their limited income, held on to their promise from God and stuck with their plan to tithe.
For the first year or two, we struggled with the idea of being so restricted and sacrificing things and not being able to do the things that we saw our friends and family and community doing.
Jamie and Jenna picked up side jobs along the way and continued to tithe off of what they earned. And they credit that for helping them get through those lean months.
12 weeks ago, we had half a paycheck. 12 weeks later, fast forward, we got through that stressor and we didn't have to dip into our savings at all.
I think continually being humble enough to say yes to Jesus, that He has more plans and bigger plans for us than we could ever dream for ourselves, I think is a big part of what tithing is and how Jesus can really transform your life.
The two continued to chip away at their debt. The school stopped garnishing their wages, and they even earned pay raises. Their daughter was born in 2017. Then, in January of 2019, shortly before they celebrated their 5th anniversary, Jamie and Jenna paid off the last of their $100,000 debt, just as God had promised.
I wouldn't have believed it possible to pay off $100,000 of debt in 5 years, but we said yes to Jesus. To Jesus, 1 + 1 = whatever He wants it to.
Today, Jamie and Jenna are still teaching. They own a home, and they've also started a financial blog where they tell the world about how tithing put them on the road to financial freedom.
If we hadn't committed to tithing and made that a non-negotiable in our lives and our budget, then our budget wouldn't work.
Looking from the time we started to where we are now, $100,000 in 5 years on teaching salary, we could not have done it without Jesus providing.